Okay. Move that out of the way. Just pull this up on my phone so I can read chat. Minecraft zombie be like, game over. Okay, let me click onto... So as you can see, I've been messing around with a few things. I got some clothing references. And I've still got all my other references and stuff. I was looking at how people do folded arms and shit. So I gave him the sword. It looks a little bit dinky at the moment, so I might make that bigger. But this is my general current idea. Again, I used a lot of these like clothing references. This was the kind of thing I wanted to make. I was trying to test out this hairstyle as well, but it didn't really pan out that way. Yeah, so yeah, I made a few poses. I tried a few hairstyles and facial expressions. This one was probably my worst one. He looks like an emo, like a rock singer from like the early 2000s or something, which I thought was quite funny. So what I plan to do today is see how the clothing looks with the other poses and the Voros twins hairstyle. Yeah, I kind of made it a bit spiky because I kind of looked up a few things about like character design, and the general idea I got from it is like if characters have like a lot of soft edges, then they're more kind of calm, or they're the good guys, and if they have more like sharper edges, they're like the bad guys. You can also see in the thumbnail I made how it looks as like a shadow. So this probably won't be like the final fully rendered piece, because I want to change the position of the swords and everything, the sword and everything. But we got some generally good like action poses and stuff. Maybe some facial expressions. I'm pretty happy with this kind of general eye shape. But we will see. I think I actually want to work on this one next, because I have a little bit of an idea for the facial expression. But I will see if I can actually pull it off. So yeah, I'll generally like, if I just create a new window quickly. Let me chuck this guy onto it so I can just copy from it. There we go. The shoes were very rushed. I'm not really like, I pretty much just did that so I could make the thumbnail like in 2 seconds. I changed the sword round slightly so it has this kind of effect. The general idea I'm going for is like a kind of black and gold color scheme. So he's like covering up all of the black with gold, and it's like you know, he's actually a bad guy, but he's pretending to be a good guy or whatever. So it should be interesting to see how it ends up looking. Now that I have a general idea, I think it should look a lot better. I don't know if I want to give him like a hilt for his sword or something. It would probably make the most sense to like make my pen a bit thicker. To have something like here that has the sword in it, obviously much bigger than that, but and yeah, he's right-handed. So maybe something kind of across here. Like this. That kind of thing. So yeah, from last week, like, I was kind of a bit lost on what I wanted to do. The Voros twins hairstyle. I need to actually look at the Voros twins hairstyle. I mean, I know what it looks like, but... Da Vinci? Hold on. There we go. Da Vinci. There we go. We'll get rid of this terrible hairstyle. And then we'll give him that instead. There we go. I think I am pretty happy with how the hairstyle ended up being. So yeah, what I was saying is when I left off last time, I was a bit lost on what to do. I didn't really know what direction I wanted to take things. So what I did, after getting together like the mood board of all the characters, I went onto Pinterest and stuff and just looked up kind of the style I was looking for. And it took a while to get the right hairstyle down, but I think it looks good. I want him to generally be like kind of skinny. Don't want him to be too muscular. So this will be like kind of down here. I'm going to put this on another layer actually. The arms are obviously here, but so that if you look at like the idea is like these bits here will probably be gold, and maybe this bit here would be gold, and then like the black is here. I plan to put like maybe golden highlights in the hair. I think that might look quite cool, but we'll see. The colouring stage will come once I've settled on a design. Generally, what I want to do is like come up with a few sketch poses, then make like the, I guess you could call it official artwork that's fully rendered and everything, and then do like action poses, like doing certain moves, what the moves would look like and how they would work and stuff, because I have a few ideas for like a move set. But we will see. Gotta make sure that it actually lines up with what I've drawn already, which is always the hardest bit. Let's change the song. It's weird putting it at this angle because I can only really envision it from a straight on angle at the moment. But if it's like sideways on like this, then it's slightly different. I wanted these to as well kind of be like, you know, wings, like feathers type of thing, like angel wings maybe. But I think just having them be like golden flowy bits will probably look okay. Ding a ding a ding a ding a ding a ding. Give me 2 seconds. So I guess if it's from this angle, it'll be slightly more like this. I miss this song from Breath of the Wild, because it's not in Tears of the Kingdom. And it's one of my favourites. Yeah, these are definitely too big. I want them to stick out, but I don't want them to stick out that far. Breath of the Wild, more like Breath of the Wind. Boom, boom. Gasping the Tame. Choke of the Tame. Maybe I'm just very nostalgic for this theme. Yeah, generally I want it to like go on the shoulders and then kind of have like with this, it's like it starts here. So then the shoulders would be like kind of covered by the thing, and then the arms will just be their own thing. I think I'm happy with how this one looks mostly. It's just kind of a weird shape at different angles. So usually I think the easiest way to do something like this is to kind of ignore the arms for a second. Because he has like this big thing covering the body. It goes up like this. Kind of down like this. Just get rid of the arms for a sec. And all of that. It's kind of... I put it a little bit higher on the actual first image. It's kind of like this. And then the actual suit doesn't go down that far. It goes down to like here. It comes across here. And then the second one's like... I did have it slightly different, but I think having it kind of like this probably looks the best. And up here. You got to remember as well where the actual center is, and I think the center's more like here. It's kind of... I might want to move things along a little bit. Just to make it all look correct. Kind of curve it here. And around here. Will this suffering bring come to an end? So it kind of goes there, and it leads out to here with those. probably covers them. The arm like covers them up. The other arm here. Kind of like that. Drawing folded arms is actually quite difficult. I think I managed somewhat well. I'm getting a bit random with my lines. We've got like this bit, I don't even know what it's called, like the chip. It's chipped out. It's like this bit here where it goes in. I don't really know if that serves a practical purpose or if it's just an artist. I still have and here as well. So I kind of wanted to combine these two and do my own thing with it as well. So it's kind of here. There we go. I think having it come out here a bit more. It's good. Pride. Yeah, it's always good to, I think, because already like I've changed this bit because I think it just looks a bit better to be separated like that. I've got quite muscular legs on this, but I think with the actual thing, like having him be a little bit skinnier, kind of like that. Just a bit more narrowed out. So obviously, like, it's a fighting game. They're going to be somewhat muscular. Or a fighting game character. But you don't need to. You should have different body types. Otherwise, everything just looks boring. Now we can see what it looks like without the. The arm's a bit weird, but I think that's just because of that. Diversity is good. Yes, it is. Otherwise, I think fighting games especially, they're kind of known for their diverse character designs just because, like, you want to have a colourful cast because you want people to play every character. I mean colourful in the sense of, like, creative. Like, different coloured clothes, but, like, you know what I mean. Colourful. So I do have a few other ideas for characters to design. Obviously the design process will take a long time, but should be fun. So what I had in here was like a very kind of high up thing like this. It's like the undershirt. I guess this makes more sense to come up here. This is why I like Guilty Gear, because Guilty Gear has very diverse designs. I think Street Fighter does as well. Street Fighter is pretty diverse because they have characters from like different countries and loads of different body types. But Guilty Gear is my favourite for character designs like that. Especially because they've got, like, you know, newer characters like Nago, and they made Bridget transgender, and things like that. I think that is the best. It does look a little bit awkward from this angle. It's good. So yeah, I was working on this bit, but I got distracted. That's always what happens, I just hop to a different bit. I'm not recording a time lapse for these bits, so it's fine. So there's like kind of buttons, it's like a very tight like shirt. And then when you get to the actual like face, it's very angular. Yeah. I'm genius ear designer. I can do ears. And I kind of angled it here because I wanted to be looking like kind of looking up in that direction. He kind of, we do the nose first. It's like kind of here. Nose. Ooh. And then the eyes kind of like that looks a bit like an Iron Man face or something. I think the best way to do it is to tilt it this way so that it's actually straight, and then you can get the actual design you want. It's kind of down here and across. I'm trying to replicate the eye I've already drawn, but the other one I've already drawn was like face on, so it's a bit different. You want to make sure it's kind of curved, because that one's too big. Oh. It's warm today. It is very warm. Kind of a bit more curved up like this. But you don't want it to look too like one thing. Maybe I do. It's a bit more like this. Probably a bit more. Yeah. It's like kind of and I think that might be too high. We can move it around. The idea is like looking away. This probably looks really terrible. It doesn't actually look that bad. It's kind of sticking his nose up. And it's like that, but obviously like it's got the lips as well. But I'm bad at mouths, so I'll probably saw that later. Even just from that, you can kind of get a general gist of like the overall design. And this like face method is incredibly useful for drawing faces. You can see I've done it on each one. And over here as well, the Boros twins. It's a really like simple face drawing method. It's literally just like draw a circle. You've got like the ears there, and then you have like the rest of the face there. And you can do the hair. And the eyes will line up with the ears here. And then you've got the mouth. A genius artistic talent. The best to ever do it. Anywho, I might shorten the neck slightly. I don't want to shorten it too much. Did you see the Sonic Movie 3 trailer? And are you excited for it? Let's turn the distortion world off. That is unlisted, that video, but I have it on my playlist, so I can use it. Honestly, I'm not really a Sonic fan, but I do like the movies. Jim Carrey is always a treat, yeah. I've like not played a Sonic game in a long time. And I honestly think most Sonic games, at least the 3D ones, are kind of shite, or at least they look shite, but the characters are pretty cool. I mean, Shadow's probably my favourite Sonic character, which is not exactly a crazy take, especially coming from me, but the movies are fun. The second movie was absolutely ridiculous. Like there's like a whole like wedding scene that's like the most ridiculous shit I've ever seen. Oh, this is on the wrong layer. Okay. They're just funny movies, and this one actually has like yeah, let's do that. So it has Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles together, and then obviously Shadow. I hope they throw in a "I'm gonna make you eat those words, Faker," because I think that would be very funny. Plus, it's wholesome Reddit Chungus Keanu Reeves. I love you. You're all breathtaking. That's what he says, isn't it? Wholesome Chungus Reddit Ohio Riz. I love you 3000. You're awesome. You're breathtaking. These kind of feather designs are quite awkward because I was partially inspired by this image that I found on Pinterest, which I sincerely hope isn't AI generated. I don't think it is, but you never know with some images. But like I already had this kind of idea to put something on the shoulders, but I wasn't really sure what. So this is probably the thing that out of everything will change the most from this design to like the final design. We can mess around with a few things because I considered having something kind of like this, going like more up, like that. Now there's a few other designs I was looking at, like I was looking at I pull the image up. I like having this sheet for references because that you're drawing. Yeah, I just don't really like using AI images for reference in general. One thing I was looking at a lot was this, not just this specifically, but this kind of design, because it has like, I mean, this is pretty cool with the wings on the shield. I don't plan to give the character a shield, but if I did, it would probably be maybe something like this. But the high-end tier kind of have these very like over-the-top shoulder pads. I think the closest one to what I would be thinking of is this fellow here, Callian. Obviously they have wings on their heads, but and I don't really just want to stick wings on his shoulders, but like kind of like a shoulder pad like this. Egg. I also saw this design, which is Medivh from World of Warcraft. Actually, this is his Hearthstone artwork. But he's got like raven wings because he's kind of a raven themed character, which I don't want really. I should bring him back with no memories and never explain why. He's just back randomly. He was recreated by the machine from Xenoblade X that creates life forms. So you can kind of see what it looks like without... I think just this is like kind of just a suit and tie, which isn't particularly inspiring. The awkward thing is getting like the hilt of the sword. Not the hilt, the like I want him to hold the sword with like a scabbard, but usually a scabbard is attached to kind of here. And you don't want it to like block this off. So either I have it so he's wearing something on his back that holds the sword, or I make it so that he's just kind of holding the sword. Maybe it's on the ground or something. Or maybe just make it so that he summons the sword, kind of like blades do in Xenoblade 2, where they just like get summoned. I might want to do something a bit more with the trousers too, because currently the trousers are kind of just black. Because at least with the arms, you've got like these frilly bits, which is kind of not quite as intense as that, but it's that kind of thing. Yeah, I guess it's a bit more like these. I don't even know if you can see my cursor on this. I think you can. That kind of thing, but on here. And the shoes will probably just be kind of boots. And I might be able to do something interesting with the trousers. I'm just not really sure what yet. I want to, because this is... yeah, maybe a little bit higher, but I don't want it to be that high. Because I know why I moved it up. I moved it up because of the neck. But if I change the neck slightly, then that shouldn't be too big of an issue. Right. Yeah, I've got to really decide exactly how I want it to go, but I can mess around with a few different things. Just checking the stream. I did drop a few frames, but I think it's overall fine. I guess the music's not... Could be a bit louder. Little bit louder. So... I don't know if there's like a thing on... If I look up like shoulder wings or something, I might get like... I guess that's just like... Because I want this to be like a combo of like a suit and tie and armor. It's something like this might be quite cool. This is like a wing, but if I like cut this off, like kind of have that as the shoulder. And the wings are down there. That might be quite cool. Something like this. I mean, obviously he's not a mannequin with... Yeah, but... Or... something like this. If I flip this around... Just do it like that. So these are three things I kind of want to try. I guess I'll attempt this simpler one first. I'm going to put it up to the top. So it's kind of like this. It's probably not quite as intense as that. And it's like a bit more like this. It's probably too big. Guess it's like this and kind of meets with that one. Third one is like down here. Let me just transfer this one onto this layer. And that's probably too bulky, but make it slightly smaller. We might be working with something. I think the reason why it looks awkward is because it should be kind of following along this arm. So it would be like kind of more head on, which means it would start here, but then it would move like down here, kind of out like this. I think it just looks a little bit weird. Maybe what I should try, what I can do is and rub this out. Then I get to keep the old design and I can just put it back onto it. I've got a very... if there's one thing I've realised from streaming this, it's I've got a very scatterbrained approach to drawing stuff. It's kind of easier to do it like this first, and then I've got to try and rotate it in my mind, which is always difficult. Well, I can rotate it in my mind, but actually putting it down onto paper, quote unquote, is much more difficult. kind of here, here, here. I think this is like, this kind of thing's like fine, it's just a little bit basic. And not exactly what I'm looking for. You had to skedaddle for a bit. What did you miss? Well, it depends when you left. What I was doing was I was looking at designs to go on the shoulders, and I decided to mess around a little bit more with this image. So I still have these old ones. So I can kind of mix and match and see which one looks the best. But I pulled up a few more references for the kind of things that I might be looking at. So I was mainly copying this a little bit to come up with these. This one's from like a wing, but I thought like this kind of looks like the shoulder. And I can have this coming off the body, like kind of here, then the wings coming off like here. And those wings would probably be a bit more like, rather than made of metal, they would be like, you know, like the wings are, they're a little bit feathery. And so those would interact with the arms in different ways. They'd kind of be shrouding the arm. I also wanted to try this. Obviously not with that, but just like kind of loads of little feathers. Oh, someone's calling me. Give me a sec. that. So last time I drew feathers or wings was I did hawks. And he's got big fairy. I don't know if I want to do this exact kind of thing. Still looking at the wonder of the man. Oh no, I forgot to... I was talking about this drawing I did of Hawks, where I did his wings. But I don't think I want this exact thing for this. So what it would probably be is like... kinda... like that drawing has like not drawing, like that model has different layers. So it'd kind of be... like this. And then like this. This kind of thing. And it would either be like this, or a few more, a few less, or it would be like a little bit bigger. I don't really like that. I don't really think it looks that good. I think my favourite one is probably still this first one. I guess I will try the final one, which would be to have some kind of like shoulder pad. So like kinda and I guess it would be like here. And then wings coming down, kinda. Like this. Probably a bit confusing with everything being black, but it is glibbing out. Oh no. Is it still? Oh. It's because I had my phone next to my microphone. That's why. Should be okay now. Sounds good so far. Yeah, I had my phone a bit closer to my thing than I normally would. I guess I should copy this to the other side just to see what it looks like on both sides. I think somewhere like a medium between this and the one I was doing before. I don't think it has been. I don't usually check my phone. I have it on the whole time because I have chat up. It may be some interference or something. Yeah, I think some kind of like medium between those two might be alright. Because obviously, like, it's a bit strange having like a suit. You want it to like fit with the actual suit. So you don't really want to have shoulder pads necessarily, but if you can have like a kind of like a fabric thing here on the shoulder. The shoulder is, I guess, here. And if you curve it up like that, and it's kind of like... So this is still made of fabric, rather than metal. And you've got this kind of here. And if I get a different color, like, I guess I'll do red. And then it would be like wings. I guess it would be a bit more curved. Something like this. Maybe more up here. Oh. But again, I don't think that looks that good, but I think I am actually kind of liking this one the most so far. If I added a bit more, something a bit more like interesting to that. Then I can see this developing into an interesting design potentially. You've been isekai'd into the Pokemon world this very instant. What's your plan? Probably to get back home, honestly. Middle of a route on Akala Island. I mean, the Pokemon world would be awesome to be into, but I think if I was teleported there, I would probably panic first. And then I would try and catch all my favourite Pokemon. I'll probably have to get a starter first. I think, gotta make it into town first, yeah. I think the best way for me to like visualize this, I'm kind of just zooming in and out, is to color it in. So I have, yeah, I might color, like go over it with like a bit of a neater, slightly neater line work. I do think this looks pretty good. What I need to do is sort out this. I don't know where, like, I guess this is very, like, French, kind of French Revolution style. I don't know. 1800s French. Maybe not quite that intense. I want to know where they, like, I guess I'll pull up the tab, or not the tab, the new window. Because I want to know where they put their swords. Because I do want to have a little bit of historical accuracy. But I've got to find the right, like, vibe that I'm... Because this is meant to be kind of modern fantasy, but it's also... He's a bit more old-fashioned. For some reason, I just put this, like, one hand onto a different layer. So... Basically, I have to decide with the sword is, do I want this to be like a physical weapon? Or do I want it to be something that he can summon? If it's something that he can summon, then I think having it, like, made of light a bit more, and having it, like, he doesn't need a hilt or whatever, then that would be fine. If it's something that he does summon or doesn't summon, he needs somewhere to holster it. But I think for now I'll go without giving him a holster or whatever, a sheath. And then I will decide later. Guess I'll use my nice pen for this. So I was looking at this, I wanted to, like, curve it around a bit more. So that I can have this one like this. As far as the sword goes, I do want to make it a bit bigger as well. Probably make these slightly shorter. I might do kind of like a wing pattern on them. So it'll be like here. And then like maybe out like this. But I'll do that at a later point if I decide on this overall shape. Because another thing you've got to think about as well is like, what does the silhouette look like? This video is very long, it's like an hour long. I have got to decide on it, how exactly it connects to the rest of the body as well. I think this connects fine here because it kind of connects directly to it. But then here, I guess it's kind of just like this. It might be a bit more like this. You want it, you can have it kind of buttoned like this. Oh, you don't want it to look too thin. I was thinking of making these specifically like gloves as well, so he's wearing gloves on each hand, rather than having skin, because I think that makes sense. So these frilly bits I'll probably colour in separately or add later. The sword, I wanted to make it slightly bigger because it looks a little bit small at the moment. And the main reason I think I made it so small is because the wings are quite big. But when you think about the size of like actual swords, they're pretty large. I guess the trousers would be a bit more here. Actual glove probably covers more like here. And around here. It's kind of the knuckle. I'm not too worried about the hands at the moment. I can sort out how those look at a later time. It actually looks significantly worse than the sketch or the previous layer. So that's pretty good, but let's do this one. I never even played these games. I just like this song. Whatever, that hand's fine. It's like got the boot here. I kind of wanted to have like this bit because it's further forward, and then the boot like here. I don't think it looks particularly boot-like, but maybe like kind of long with like that kind of thing, it might look alright. Doesn't really matter right now. Again, I'm just trying to get the general shapes. Uh, 10. Pikamin. I think, like, for the sword, these will be kind of translucent. These wings, at the very least, will be translucent. Bro is tired. Is bro referring to you? keep yawning. Maybe subconsciously. I'm doing more like stretching, like, which I do anyway. I probably am tired. I'm usually always tired. I'm not really sure why, because I mean, maybe it's just because of my weird work shift pattern. Yeah, a bit more in like that I think is good. Maybe I'm just yawning and not even recognizing it. There we go. So, all good, all good. Like that. So, it is a bit messy, but I just want to get the general, like, lights and everything. I don't even need the face really. I'll just like cut it off there because I don't need it because I'm mainly doing the colouring of the clothing. So what I'm thinking is these bits are probably, and the arms, which I need to make sure connect properly. Those bits are like the black parts. So maybe not like completely black, because the problem with making something completely black is it makes it very difficult to shade it. So if you instead make it more of like a grey, then you can still have room to make it darker and brighter. Put it behind, there we go. I'm not sure why I didn't fill these in properly, but we're fine. Again, not really trying to go too hard on it, just want to get a general idea of what things look like. Obviously this is like skin colour. He's a white boy. I do want to design some black characters. That will be probably my something to do in the near future. It's probably easier if you something that you need to practice though. Like I'm barely good with like white people hairstyles, so you know the hairstyles are often different, and so are the other stuff. So this is probably white, but kind of like a more of a cream. It's a bit too yellow. Something like that. And these are probably gold, maybe a bit more like muted. Because the thing with like colouring characters is generally you want them to not be too like saturated. So if the colours are a bit more muted, then it lets you achieve that. So then this bit can either be gold or like white. But this is white already. So let's see what it looks like if I make it gold. I might make it like a different gold to the shoulder pads, something like slightly brighter. But that kind of thing. The gloves will probably be either white or gold as well. Let's see what they look like in gold. That hand definitely is too big now. I made it too big. But that's fine. I don't really like the gloves being gold, to be fair. I mean, obviously it'd probably be more of like a reflective gold, which would require shading, which I don't want to do quite yet. Let's just make the arm a bit, or the hand a bit smaller. Can decide on that a bit later. Does look a bit weird without the face. Just a headless guy. It's weird. I almost got used to the definitive edition version that has the singing. But yeah, the sword itself will probably be like silver. So these bits. Silver. You can barely tell, can you, with that? I might make it a bit darker. Maybe this bit silver as well. And this bit. Then this bit is like a bright kind of yellow, gold, meant to be like, you know, the typical light colour, the like bright gold. I'll just keep the lines for the coat behind. So then make these bits light up as well. And that bit. And I think this kind of thing might look quite cool. Maybe with like a few different colours, like a bit of red somewhere, might look quite good. Trousers will probably be black as well. Look like slightly more like grey black. Or maybe it could just be like this. Then of course the shoes just don't need as much in the way of like shading, can just be like black. So obviously you can do like a bit of shine on it or whatever. Ooh. That kind of thing. Then when it comes to the gloves, I think just making the gloves white is probably the best choice. I guess I can see what black or grey gloves looks like as well. If I have the right layer. I mean, that doesn't even look that bad. I think that looks alright. These bits obviously filled in well. I think I'll put that right there. Okay. I am liking this. I think the main thing that I'm not liking is I feel like this middle section here is kind of lacking anything. Like, I think if I take this, maybe some golden buttons would do good, or it could be like 1, 2, 3, 4. Something here. I was thinking as well, like the kind of the edges here could be gold, and like the Guy Fieri flames. Guy Fieri flames. I mean, something like, obviously not what you were talking about, but something like that it might look quite good. Maybe some like gold pattern going along it or something. I am yawning, actually. I just did it there. And obviously I had like this as well, which will obviously look a bit better than when I do the actual drawing, but Now that I've done it in colour, I'm not like completely happy with it, but I think these look pretty good. Black and gold is kind of the colour scheme I decided on like pretty early on. It's just, I can't be bothered to redraw the face again, so I'll just do this. So the face is obviously this. And the ERs. As for the hair, I think the hair being black makes the most sense. I mean, you could do white hair, but I think black hair is a pretty natural way to go for something like this. I always like white-haired characters. I think they look pretty cool a lot of the time, but I've never like actually designed the character with white hair. Again, this is just a sketch, so it doesn't look as good as it could. There's some bits I'm not entirely happy with, but they'll be figured out in later stages of the design process. As for the eye colour, probably be something pretty normal. Like, I don't want to give him like, you know, red eyes or some bullshit like that. His red eyes. But it'll either be blue or brown, probably. I realised I had the wrong pen, that's why it was so small. Obviously I need the pupils as well. I don't want him to like... That's a bit starey. But yeah, the pupils are usually something I do much later on, because you can yeah, you can do like a lot just based on where the pupils are. That blue is far too bright. Maybe something more muted like this could work quite well. Or yeah, brown. Or hazel. Or he has heterochromia. Oh yeah, brown looks way better. And I know I said before that his neck looks a bit short, but or it looks a bit long, but now I think his neck looks a bit short. Heterochromia joke, yeah. Heterochromia is like a cool design trait, but like it has to. I generally don't know if it looks that good as a design trait. Obviously, some people have it in real life, and like there's nothing they can really do to avoid that. Oh yeah, that looks better. Again, I think I plan to like add some like gold highlights to the hair. Maybe something like in the middle here, like whatever. Because I generally want like an even spread of like gold here, and gold down here. Because I think that's the best way to do it. I might do like brown hair as well. I can mess around with the colours. How long have I been streaming for? Nearly 2 hours. Okay. Well, I think I'm gonna leave it here and do the Squirtle. I think what I plan to do is I want to mess around with the face a bit more because it looks very like, I want it to look angular, but I don't want it to look as wide as it does for this specific character. I kind of want to make him a little bit narrower. I'm still unsure on this like back part of the hair. You got good luck. You got it in 3. Let's grab that as well for the back part, because I want the hair to show up a little bit behind. You've kind of cracked it. Oh, it's a song from the beginning of the stream. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with this design. I think it looks pretty good. We've come full circle. This is probably going to be the last song that plays on the stream. And it was the first song that played on stream. We've had a really good opening few mon. I only do it on the stream, so I don't do it as much. I think I kind of like to do a single type Gen 5 first. And I usually just pick a random one. And this is quite good because it's quite tall and quite heavy. I don't know. So it is dual type. Golisopod. No, it can't be Golisopod. Ribombee. I guess you should probably pick one that's more in the middle. It's more likely to... Because you can high roll it. But... obviously that doesn't work a lot of the time. Dhelmise. No, Dhelmise is big, damn. Big and heavy. Incineroar. Gigalith is much smaller than I thought. Dhelmise is my favourite least. I really like it because of its ability, Steel Worker. So I think it's a sick ability that basically gives it 3 stabs. And it's got a pretty fun moveset to use, and I do like the design somewhat as well. One of the Pokemon that exists. See, that design stood out to me a lot when I played through. I think I had it on my team actually. No, I don't think I had it on my main team. I think I used like an Assault Vest one for like the battle tree. Who else can I draw? Not draw. Who else can I add? I'm still thinking of drawing. Drawing a blank. Mimikyu. No. It has a really cool... Most Pokemon have really cool illustrations, to be fair. Some of the illustrations go so unbelievably hard. Bruxish. So it is a water type for its secondary typing. And it's quite small, so it's between 0.2 and 0.9 in height. And it's a water type, but specifically the second type. That should narrow it down quite a lot, because there's very few Pokemon that have water as their secondary typing. Maybe I'm just capping completely on that, but I feel like that's the case. Oh, I switched off the... No clue. You literally do have a clue. You guess the Pokemon. Oh, I guess you don't know how many have secondary water type. Who is water type in? Is Wimpod? Oh, Wimpod's bug water. Not Wimpod. Wimpod did fit in that category, but it was between 0.5, 0.2 and 0.5, 12. So this is really narrowed down now. Because I guessed Golisopod early on, but it was too big. So I knew that it couldn't be Golisopod. So we're probably thinking of single forms. I know Primarina's a fairy type. Okay, it is water first though, so I was thinking like Popplio might be a fairy type, but I don't think it is. Generally, unless they're grass type, they don't have dual types for their first form. There are 26. Is this across the entire Pokedex? So that's not that, considering how many water types there are, that is not that big of a number. Like, that is actually pretty tiny, because I think water's like the most abundant type by far. Who else is water type in Gen 7? I love the Gen 7 decks, but I can't think. Is not Wimpod, Wishy-Washy. Is that a solo water type? It is. Maybe it's Dewpider. Can't be Dewpider. I wish you could just type in water and have them show up, but there are only 4 in Generation 7, including evolutions. And I've guessed one of them. So there can only be another evolutionary line that has them. I'm trying to think, because there is like water areas in Gen 7, but there's no water gym leader or Elite Four. And Lana focuses more on Wishy-Washy and Araquanid as the totem Pokemon. Water's definitely the most common type. That's what I was saying, like, there's so few secondary water types, given how many water types there are. Is there like a mythical or a legendary? Maybe it's an Alolan form. Are there any water type Alolan forms? I don't think so. Oh, it could be Toxapex, not Toxapex. Could be Toxapex is quite short, but Mareanie. Yeah. I thought Mareanie was water first, then poison, but I guess it is more of a poison thing. Oh, it's Tatsugiri's water dragon, yeah. How many water types are there? How many water types are there? Does anyone else feel there are too many water types? There's 150 water types. Over 100. You can make an entire Pokedex out of water types. As of Gen 6, water's been paired with every other type. Damn, there's so many. So yeah, those 4 lines were the only ones. Iron Bundles, Ice Water. Oh no, Tatsugiri is Dragon Water. Did you count Ogerpon Wellspring Mask as well? Let me turn that off there, yeah. Anyhow, I think that is the end of today. Still have my guy. Oh, and that's my stream. There we go. Oh, you counted multiple Tatsugiri forms. I see. So yeah, that is kind of crazy. There's over 150 species of water type, and only 24 of them are secondary water. I guess it's because most of them live in the water, so it's like, yeah, we're in the water. We are water first. Anyway, pretty successful day today, I think. Like, I think I'm kind of almost very close to like a finalized design for my character. And considering I came up with this like from scratch, which I've never done for a human character before, I think it's pretty good. Well, I have done it with a human character, but not in a long time, and not to any success. The comfort of the man. I still have the Slayer one, I think. No, I got rid of it. Anyhow, I will probably do this again next week, and I will work on this throughout the week So hopefully by the time we get to next week, I will be able to do the Vora's Twin Penance. I'll be able to do the what am I trying to say? The official, I guess, artwork for him. Which this walking towards one might be what I end up going with. Or I might do a different pose. I think I'll probably come up with a pose rather than doing like taking one from online or whatever. For now, I'm gonna call it there. Thank you for watching. I always don't know how to end these, but thank you for watching again. I'll see you next week probably.